there we go. Huge police presence. Every single time we're going, we're seeing roundabouts, police everywhere. We've got people watching from above. Tons of police presence here, as kind of expected. We're getting a bit close to the stadium now, so you get to see a little bit more going into the stadium, exactly what that's like. We're supporting Newcastle fans. Obviously, there's been a bit of a ban where they couldn't get drink and stuff in the bars. The bars weren't open. The Strawberry put a statement out saying they weren't serving it beforehand. That hasn't stopped people in the interviews we watch. So we go to supermarkets and stuff like that. Everyone having a good time. Everyone having a few beers and stuff like that. Spirits are obviously up. Spirits very high. Few nerves. But everyone on the whole seem quite optimistic and stuff like that. See if we can try to speak to some Sunderland fans. Probably doubt it on safety ground, but we'll be speaking to them after the match as well. Enjoy. Driving, yeah, police absolutely everywhere. Camera can't even turn fast enough. There's literally police at every single corner, loads of them. Look at this. The North East will have not seen anything like this police presence at a single event in a long time. Very naive to think there won't be trouble. Obviously whenever you get two rival fans, especially as passionate as the Geordies and the Mackhams, there's always going to be this huge undertaking by Northumbria Police here. We're coming up to the Stadium of Light here, so this is where the police presence should be at the highest, at its peak. It's been this way from all the way from Newcastle. There was loads at St James's Park, and there are also loads on the run up as well, going through Newcastle, Gateshead and Sunderland. And already we can see Sunderland fans. Start to see them in a bit. Look at the police presence there, tons and tons. You can see them on the run up, but then loads of the vans there. We're not even near the stadium yet to see where all the vans and everything are, but you can see the line of police go all the way back there, all the way around the beacon of light, which is their foundation. Every 15 yards it looks like a policeman. Not seen anything like this, like I say, in years. It's been about 8 years since the last derby. There's been nothing really too heavy for Northumbria Police to have to get involved with Newcastle games, other than the Champions League games. This is possibly on the same scale, but possibly a whole different thing. Try to get as close as we can. See there the line of police, well prepared for almost anything. There is going to be 6,000 Newcastle fans also. You try to contemplate that and try to police that in a very hostile situation. Huge undertaking for the police. See how well they handle it later on today, but this is a huge game. You can feel it in the air. Huge game for both sets of fans.
250 yards, go right on.
Right outside the Stadium of Light, see the huge police presence as well. I'm going to try to safely speak to some Sunderland fans as well. Hopefully they don't know that I'm a Geordie as well, and here we go. What's your score prediction for the game and how optimistic are you?
I'm optimistic. We've got the crowd behind us. I fancy us to win 1-0.
1-0, goal scorer?
Ooh, I'll say Clark, yeah.
Clark, right. I'm going to give you three options here. So firstly, what would a win do for Sunderland?
Well, one against the Mags. Well, what do you think it's going to do? We're going to be buzzing, aren't we?
Yeah. If it's a draw and it goes to St James's Park, would you be in favour of that? Would you take that now, or would you not want this to be replayed?
I wouldn't like to be replayed. I would just like to win today.
Right.
But if we've got to get a result as a draw, then I'll take the
And
draw.
then in a worst case scenario, a loss as well. Would you think that would derail the season or anything, have any impact at all?
No, I don't think it would.
No.
I think we'll be all right.
But no pressure for Sunderland?
Of course there's pressure on. We've got to beat them.
Perfect. Just right, okay, so we're here with Sunderland fans.
Scott. James.
Right, okay, 3 questions. First of all, though, before we get into it, what's your score prediction?
I'm going to go Sunderland 2, Newcastle 1.
Yeah, I'm good as well. T1, yeah.
Do you, yeah.
If you win, what does that mean for Sunderland?
Not a great deal, although we've got the bragging rights for the 10 years. We've still got the league to think about, haven't we? So it gives everyone a bit of a shot in the arm.
I'll be buzzing.
Yeah, if it's a draw, it means it goes to St James's Park. Would you take a draw before the game kicks off, and would you like to see that or not?
Well, we're always pretty good at the O3 Arena, aren't we? So yeah, we'll go again.
Yeah, I'll be happy going there, yeah.
And if it's a loss for Newcastle, it's obviously a huge impact for them. Is it pressureless almost for you guys? It's been described as a free hit. Is that the case or not?
It's never a free hit 'cause it's a local derby. It's bragging rights, isn't it? But the pressure's on them. They've got the cash. They've got the horrendous record at the minute. Eddie Howe's next 2 games, I think, are Man City and Villa. So it could be in a bit of bother if he doesn't win today.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Yeah, and do you think that you'll go up this season? How likely are you? Because it could be a derby next season if you do.
Oh yeah, we're struggling, I think, for this season. Playoffs, maybe. You never know. We came good last season towards the end, so we hope for the same again. But we'd love a derby next season,
Yeah.
of course.
I reckon we'll go up, to be honest. I think this is our season, yeah.
Yeah, and-
Get a few good results, make a few good signings. Yeah.
And then very quickly, just thoughts on the new manager as well, because you obviously changed manager recently. What's your thoughts on him and Mowbray sacking?
Well, obviously it wasn't a particularly popular appointment, but judge people on the results, don't you? He hasn't had much time on the training pitch yet, so we'll judge him in 6 months' time.
Is it a lot to ask for a new manager to come in and then the derby be pretty much
Have a look
close?
at the record. Every time we played, we've just had a new manager. We've done all right recently, so yeah, I don't think it's a big ask. He's got Rangers and Celtic experience, hasn't he? So yeah.
He's our manager, so we've got to back him now. I'm not a big fan of him, but we've got to back him, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're here with Sunderland fans.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, just your name?
Paul, mate.
Right, so before we get into it, score prediction.
Yeah, it could be out. To be fair, man.
If you got betting, if you had to put money down, so rather
Money
than
down.
head, if you were
Well,
serious.
if I wanted my money, I'd bet on Sunderland. But obviously, like it's Newcastle's like they can field a 200 million team here easily. So I'm thinking we can have about 3 now.
Is that those 2 big Champions League against Champions League?
It's not just Champions League. It's not just Premier League and Championship. It's the gulf between how much 2 clubs have got to spend, how much it's worth. Yeah, it's just too big now. But I think, if we can nick it, it'll be brilliant. But we've been consistent at the minute, but a little bit of confidence over them, I think. They're not very good at the minute at all. So I would see a 3-0 Newcastle. If I was betting for it, I would absolutely love a 3-0. So it could go either way.
I reckon 2-1.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. I mean, we would like to go. It would be great to go. We would go. It's the logistics of it. I mean, we've seen what this has been like today.
See the police on
exactly. Right. So it's getting there. We're talking about over your evening game. So you're talking about like the away game down south or something. You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't take a draw. I'd prefer it done today. Done and dusted. I don't really fancy St James's Park.
If it's a loss as well, if you don't think what happens as well, is that the end of the world? Because if Newcastle lose, the pressure's on them, it feels like, but you would it matter or anything or whatever?
Like, that's the one thing different today from years before when I've come to derby games. I'm nervous sometimes, you know what I mean? I'd throw up, if I was out with the lads. The pressure's off for us, it really is. I know that they're saying it's not, but it is. The pressure is off. We can come in and have a laugh. They start scoring goals and going on the right. So that's a good thing in a way, but all the pressure is on.
And there's been a lot of off-the-field incidents happening the last 2 days as well. So the Newcastle fans had the bar, the brand and all. What did you think of that? Was that embarrassing? Because also the tickets got quick as well. You guys got a fine for that as well.
It's an embarrassment. I don't know what the club was thinking. I don't know what the board was thinking. I've heard they didn't know, but I'm pretty sure they did know. Hospitality is one thing, but that was just going too far. So it was an embarrassment, and we'll probably suffer for the next 10 years with that. We'll just be constantly reminded of it. That's one message is the need of real cup and what this means to us.
That was what on Sky Sports and stuff, the pundits, but also, you know, the owner mustn't push it.
Yeah, 100%. That's the only reason they can make a mistake like that, is that they don't understand the level of rivalry here. And there hasn't been a derby obviously for years. And he hasn't experienced a derby, we've got to remember that. but he should win.
So your thoughts on that one?
Just jumping right, it's just I watched loads of stuff about it. Everyone's feeling last year. Just didn't really go back a bit well. He put like a tweet out or something saying that he didn't want to play the game, but he must have been fair if they put that up with the broadcast. Giving him a broadcast bar is stupid as well, really, because it's like it's our bar, so it's just like it's pretty stupid.
They've moved loyal fans, season ticket holders.
Exactly. I mean,
They've all the red carpet out. Look at that.
I wouldn't like to go as far as say the red carpet for the night, but I would accommodate a lot. But obviously, if it goes to a replay, we take 6,000 there, which you know what I mean, which is fair enough. But they'll not be doing no bars out for us.
He's got floating around the playoffs as well. We've got a new manager, which is obviously going to change about when the January transfer window. How hopeful are you going up this season? What to go to the new manager?
I think going up this season is we're very inconsistent. There's only 2 places for grabs in the playoffs. So I think we might struggle if this could kickstart. You know what I mean? People are saying us Derby ain't unwanted or whatever, but I think if we could win this could kickstart and we could go for the playoffs. But with our inconsistency, I think we might just miss out. But it's not the end of the world for us either.
It's a tough season this season. I said with some of the Sunderland fans beforehand, very tough because the teams that dropped down, they believe very, very strong.
Yeah, exactly. We always do. Leicester were going to be right there. And obviously Leeds started bad, but they've come back up from there. Southampton are a good team. We had a great day when they came up here, but they're a great side. So you know what I mean. So it's
the new manager as well, a bit Marmite amongst fans. What side of the fence are you sitting on?
Well, eventually getting rid of Mowbray, I was on the side of right. It's aggressive, but it shows that we're committed to the plan. We're committed to the ideal and the model that we have. There was a young manager, dynamic manager, multilingual, communicate with the young foreign players. So I was fine. And we went in search of this manager, and then we came out with my player. And he didn't tick any of the boxes. And I thought, right, he may as well just say, does he in charge? If you're just going to go down that road, but seeing he's here now, I've got to give him his chance.
This would get the fans on side.
This would definitely get the fans on side, for sure, 100%. But he's probably feeling the same as us. It's not the end of the world for him, if he can't. But I would help him, definitely.
Go to the new guys, well?
I think he's a good manager. We should, if we're bringing him in, then I think we should really kind of leave it at him because he plays the same kind of football. He plays the same kind of football, it's just a bit different. And I think he's a good manager, but I don't know if he's better.
And then just a quick question to end up with. Who are you most worried about today? Which player are you most worried about?
Honestly, he's actually started or actually born
Same, he's at the Gordon. The Pearson, they've got 5 man an hour now, players. Isaac can score against Liverpool when they won the Kosh.
But he's worried if it turns into a physical game as well. Newcastle's got Joel and got Bruno. Got a lot of physical sort of players and Trippier as well. So that what he's going in, or do you think you've got the players to match?
We haven't got we haven't got the players to match because we've got a young side. So if it gets physical, then I think there could be bullied a lot on the pitch. But it just depends on how they respond. I mean, this could be a turning point for these young lads. They've a lot of experiences. So it could bring them on, leaps and bounds.
No way, does that favour you guys or Newcastle?
It favours us. There used to be, I mean, teams are going to depend on it, I think. But it's saying it's just a win. So you argue with your VAR, you argue without it. So really, I don't think it makes a difference. But I think we're used to it. So we probably play a little bit more to trip the ref, trip the linesman. So,
Dark arts.
Yeah, the dark arts. So that's it, what we've got in the game. So,
there we go, right? Thank you very much. Just your name?
David,
what's your score prediction for the game before we get into it?
well, I don't like to think it's a free hit, like a lot of people think it is, because it's like you think, well, we might not as well turn up. I'll be quite honest, I think probably Newcastle are going to be probably too strong for us, but you just never know in derby games. I'm looking forward to it, and you just never know. We could sort of edge it by the odd goal, but I don't know. I don't want to be overconfident.
Well, the three options are is obviously a Sunderland win, so that would obviously be massive for you guys. If it's a draw, it means a replay at Newcastle. Would you take that if you were offered to do it before kick-off, or would you not
Definitely take a replay, yeah, because you know if you take a replay, then it's the swings and roundabouts, and you'll get the Newcastle supporters thinking, oh well, you know we're going to beat them at our place. It never happens, you know. You can get a replay and you can beat them at their place, you know. We've got a good record over the last 10 derbies. I suppose from a Newcastle perspective, it's got to come to an end sometime. So I kind of think that in my bones that maybe that might swing in Newcastle's way. But I don't know. I'm just pleased that we're here for the occasion. It's a big operation today. There's a lot of Newcastle fans here, and I just hope that it's an enjoyable day. And not always the best team wins, but let's just see how it pans out.
If in a worst case scenario you do lose as well, is that the end of the world for you guys, like it is Newcastle? So Newcastle's got a lot of pressure on them. They're not playing very well at the moment. Would it really have much impact to Sunderland if you did get beat?
I don't think so, no. I really think if Newcastle lose today, there could be a little bit more pressure on Eddie Howe. I think if Sunderland lose, Newcastle fans say more of it. To be quite honest, I think the majority of people expect Newcastle to win this game today, you know.
It's Premier League against Championship.
And that's the way you've got to look at it. But we'll see. You know, I don't think there's any pressure on Sunderland. I think there's more pressure on Newcastle because of the record that they've had in the past.
There's no pressure on Sunderland, is there? Is there any pressure on the new manager? Because it's a big ask for him coming in pretty much straight away. He hasn't seen, from the Sunderland fans who've spoken, he hasn't got all of the fans on side already to start off with. What would that do for him? Obviously a win would get him on board with everyone.
It would certainly do that, and another plus I suppose really is every time we've played Newcastle, certainly in a lot of the games, we've ended up having a new manager before the game, and it's backfired on Newcastle. The Di Canio situation, St James's, Poirier. So who knows that this might be, you know, the result today that we've got a new manager. We still haven't got Tony Moore playing. We've got a new manager coming in, and we could turn the table today. Who knows?
It's the first time that we've seen a derby in many moves now. Are you hoping to get promoted this season and then turning this into a regular thing? Or I mean, he's a sixth about, so he's got a good chance.
I would hope so. I think the automatic position is probably not feasible at the
Strong
moment.
league this season with all the
but yeah, I think we're still probably good enough to get a playoff position. Whether we're good enough to go through the playoffs, the semi-final and the Wembley places, I don't know. But I think deep down, maybe another year in this league. You know, I'm not so sure if we went up whether we would be ready. It's a big ask, and I think we would have to maybe change our philosophy a little bit and maybe get some more experienced players in.
Speaking of players, what's your hopes for January as well? Obviously you've got a new manager, and is there much to spend? Because it seems like from the outside you're searching for a striker almost, someone just to bury it. Is there much money to spend, do you think? Or?
Well, I don't know that, but I think
Are you hopeful of that? Or
I'm hoping we can get somebody in a strike. We've got 4 strikers in the building now, but clearly the management team don't seem to think that we're ready for the challenge. So who knows? But
striker the most important position for you then?
Probably, yeah, just somebody that can, you know, get you those extra goals. Because I think sometimes we just tend to rely so much on the likes of Clark and Roberts to do it. And I think that would be interesting today as well, because you know, if they've got any rules about them, they'll just double up on their players and they'll maybe stop someone doing what they're doing.
You've got Clark who's going up against Trippier. We haven't seen the team sheets announced. Before any team. Would you fancy Trippier? He's been a bit vulnerable the last couple of weeks.
Well, listen, this is something we've got to look forward to see whether Clark can do. He's a talented player, you know. But I maybe worry a little bit about the midfield, you know, Joe Linton and the other Brazilian lad, and the height of Newcastle on set pieces and that. But I don't know. We'll see.
And who are you most worried about from Newcastle's perspective?
Probably the two wide men, you know, when they get a lot of the ball, Gordon and Almiron.
Almiron's not been doing great the last
I think just the way they sit as well, and I think Isaac, you know, that long ball. But I'm just looking forward to going in and just the kick off and just wait and see just how it pans out.
Nervous?
I am nervous a little bit, but I'm not thinking we're going to get tanked. We don't want to get tanked. We don't want to lose 5 or 6 nil. You know, if we lose 2-1, if we lose 3-2, by the odd goal or get a replay, I'll be happy. But I think if you're thinking from a neutral point of view that you think Newcastle's going to have the ability to get 2 goals here with here, then we're going to have to score 3 to win the game. Whether we're good enough to score 3 or not, that's the big issue. So, probably take the score draw 1-1. We'll see what happens.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're here with Sunderland fans.
Yes.
Yeah, what's your name?
Ben. Phil.
Right, before we get into the questions, what's your score prediction?
I'd like to see a 2-1, 2-0 win. But
If you're putting money on it, rather than heart and head, what's your honest prediction?
if I'm putting money on it, if we get a draw, it's a good result. Really, you know.
I was going for a 2-1 win initially. I think, being realistic, I'd be happy with a draw.
I'd say a 2-1 win as well.
2-1 win. Right, I'm going to talk you through the 3 options as well. Because obviously if Sunderland win, it's fantastic for you guys. Go to St. Park. Would you take that if you're offered it now? And would you like to see that? It's a second derby, but it's obviously losing home advantage.
No.
No?
Don't want to play St. James's Park.
No, I'd take it to the 1. I'd rather have the 1 win.
I'd rather just send them back.
Yeah, I'd rather send them back.
And then if you lose as well, so there's a lot of pressure on Newcastle if they lose as well. The manager's possibly under a little bit of pressure. If you lose, is this almost a free hit as Derby's goal?
Definitely. It doesn't. If we lose, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah.
They're in the FA Cup, where we're at. No one expects teams in the Championship to go much further than this, especially when playing Premier League teams. So no pressure.
They've got far more to lose.
Yeah. And then this season as well, you're around the playoff mark. You're optimistic, hopeful that you can get up and turn this sort of one-off derby into a regular occurrence.
Well, we'd like to, but it'll come down to January. I mean, we've got more than one striker that scored 1 goal, so there needs to be some more to do that.
Yeah, I think we need to let the manager bed in, the new manager, and we can't say anything until he's had a good few games.
Is it a lot to ask for a new manager to come in and have the derby pretty much straight away?
It's brutal, and it was obviously drawn before he was announced as the new manager, so he came in knowing he was here. I think it's going to be a pretty turning point in sort of the club's opinion of him.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask for a bit more.
Right, there we go then, lads. Thank you so very much.